Hey everybody, I wanted to introduce you all to Atlas, which is my autonomous AI assistant. I built this using nanoclaw, which is a safer alternative to OpenClaw, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know about. This lives inside my Mac. It does have containment, which makes it safer than the OpenClaw feature, which I'll talk about later in the video. But it's been great. I mean, this specific one I built yesterday took me about 10 hours total time. Um, pretty intuitive, but I can see with somebody with no coding experience or even Vive coding experience, it might be a little bit tedious and hard to do. But this specific one I built for Kraken Ops, and its goal is to be a business development rep to go out and find me leads using Apollo and Zoom info to score them based on context I gave it and to actually send emails out on my behalf. I'll show you guys how some of that works here in the video. All right, everybody, so here is what's running under the hood. So this is terminal on Apple. This is basically where Atlas lives. This is the local server here running on the Mac. Claude agent is running isolated Docker containers for security here. Everything stays on your machine. No third party has your data. So you can see this is how I communicate any and all changes to Atlas. So this is basically Claude code, if you guys are familiar with that. So this is where you would sort of build this. So if I get out of here, I'll also show you what Docker looks like. Okay, so this is Docker. This is basically another application that is used in order to keep everything in the machine and everything in its own containers. So this is where that local server is running. This is the containers that are live currently right now. You can see a couple of them. And this is one of the big safety features when it comes to using nanoclaw based assistants versus OpenClaw. All right, so this is sort of the brain behind Atlas right now. This is what it knows about my business, Kraken Ops. So if we go to context here, this is inside Notion. This is basically some of the context that I gave it, including what the company is, core features, ICPs, and lead scoring, etc. So this is really the brain that powers Atlas, and this lives inside Notion. Inside Notion, I also have a lead tracker that Atlas is currently using and scoring. Since we've built a multi-touch point sequence, it scores these as a 1, 2, or 3 so that it knows what step of that sequence it's currently in. So these are the connections. This is where every tool that Atlas uses lives. It never sees your actual credentials. OneCLI injects them securely at the gateway level. So you can see that there are specific apps that are built into here already. There's also custom ones that I've added that were not in the app file, as well as LLMs. So this is where all of those connections that allow Atlas to work with specific apps would live. All right, so now let's go ahead and email these folks autonomously. So watch this. All right, so you can see that it took every bit of 6 minutes, or 5 minutes actually, from the time I asked the system Atlas to enrich the top 3 and email them to the system having done all those things. You can see that it gives me some additional information and flags that Nicholas shows a New Jersey area code, but the personal location for him is actually New Mexico. So it's good that it'll flag these things for you and just let you know if anything doesn't match. All right, so let's take a quick look at the emails that Atlas sent out this morning. You can see the 3 here on the left that were sent out at 7:27 a.m. to Nicholas, to Camille, and to Dennis. You can see that they're all very simple, and they're meant to be. the first outreach email or cold email you send out to a customer, you don't want to have too much information or attachments on there. So very simple or captivating subject line, some direct information on what they may be facing as far as pain point goes, and then just an action step, right? You can see that the signature here is also simple, and it has the information for me and the company, as well as the Calendly link for the customer to book a demo session, and also an unsubscribe section here at the bottom. All right, so Atlas is great. Is it perfect? No. There's still sometimes that it'll get hung up, and you'll just have to remind it or question it again, and it'll come back on. These are little bugs that are still being worked on, but again, by far the best and only true autonomous assistant that I've seen, and I'm really glad that I was able to build this one. This took 1 day to build, so it took every bit of 10 hours for me to do this. It runs 24/7 on my Mac. It costs less than a cup of coffee a day to operate, and it finds and contacts real prospects automatically. You can do so with either an Apollo subscription or a Zoom Info subscription as well. If you want to see what this looks like for your business, reach out to me, and I'm happy to walk you through this. All right, thanks very much.